All right, this is part two. Now, you guys are not confused. I'll make a good, I don't know, 3 parts, 4 parts. We'll see how long this video goes. Obviously, right? So Peter Jackson will get if they're hired when they're hired for my movie, they will be the boss of my movie. I'm going to give them power, obviously. Just like in Hollywood, Peter Jackson was the boss of Lord of the Rings. He was the executive producer, writer, and director. He's also going to be the executive producer, writer, and director for my movie if he's hired, obviously, and he'll be the boss. As soon as I hire him, I'm gonna ask him, okay, who is the best assistant director to help you? Ask him that, and he tells me who's the best assistant director to help him, and I'll call that assistant director right away, and I'll pay him or her a nice like $500,000 for the term of the movie to help Peter Jackson, and my two script developers will be helping Peter Jackson and the assistant director direct the movie. That way, Peter Jackson's not stressed out. Okay, I hired an assistant to help you, and my two script developers will also be helping you out. That way, you're not stressed out. Obviously, you see what I'm saying here? And you guys see Fujirino Hatamas Malaso's movie, and you're looking at the best movie trilogy ever made, man. One of the best movie trilogy ever made. You're looking at devils on the screen. 3 times scarier than Pennywise the Clown. 3 times scarier than that boss orc and that demon and Annabelle for Ephesus and the bats. Looking at demons and devils, yeah. That's where they get the idea in the Bible. My story of Last of Us is the story of the Bible, how you have Jesus. You have Jesus and you have the devil, obviously, and Jesus fights the devil and you have the demons and hell and all. So it's a symbolism of my book, as you have the north that's holy, which is like heaven, obviously, and Taki is the prince of the north, and you have the south that's cursed, and Ares has the king of the south. You have the cursing ashes of the south, the holy ashes of the north. Yeah, that's what the biblical symbolism is, obviously. God fighting Taki is fighting the devil himself. Yeah, man, look at an amazing story. Best story ever told, man. A motion picture, man. Even Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson, when they're hired, they're going to be like, yeah, I read your book. If you pull a lot of money into this, I can't see any fantasy movie topping this story. Yeah. If you read my book, you'll see what I mean. You can't see any fantasy story topping that book. You're looking at a fucking amazing book that I wrote, man. Something fucking amazing. Right? So Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson, they will be what? When they're hired, they get their perks, obviously. Limo driver takes them every day for breakfast and lunch and dinner. Obviously, John Howe and Alan Lee and all of them will be staying in a hotel with them. So John Howe, Alan Lee, and the one who drew for Penny. I only need to hire like three console artists is enough. I'll hire John Howe, Alan Lee. John Howe created the boss Orc of Lord of the Rings, so I'll have him create Ephesus and the Bats. Alan Lee, I'll have him do the world building. John Howe also have him do the world building, obviously, of the North, the South, the cultures of the Southers and Northerns, all that stuff. And the one who drew for Pennywise the Clown, the movie, I'll have him create Eratat, the Devil Walking and the Wolves. Hire 3. I'll pay them a nice $170,000 to $200K. Because Alan Lee and John Howe are big, I can even pay them $200,000. That way they work hard for you. Pay them a nice $200K around there to draw for your movie. And you pay for and you have them stay in a nice hotel. They'll be staying in the hotel with Peter Jackson and all them, and the photographers, the web designer, graphic designer. They'll be staying in a hotel with all those guys, obviously, and a limo driver will take them every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I'll have my 17 make calls to a nice buffet restaurant, and they book them VIP for dinner. So they have every time they go to the restaurant, they get their VIP. Obviously, they also get their 3 beers once a week. You get Peter Jackson and the graphic designers, web designers, photographers, you give them 3 beers once a week. That's it. If you want to get beer in your own spare time, it's your own money. I pay you your money. You can easily get your own beer, obviously. And Peter Jackson's already rich, obviously. But John Howe and Alan Lee, those guys are not as rich. But because I pay them $200K, they can easily buy their own beer if they want to get chill at the bar or some of that. What I'll do for them, I can pay them $100K bonus. John Howe and Alan Lee, and they get their $100K at the 4th year. You can do that. That way, the 4th year if you want to. Or look, if you want it, you can either get your full $200K for the 6 months, the first year, whatever it is, when you're staying in a hotel, or I can split your money. You can get your I don't know, you can get your $100K bonus. I can pay you another $100,000. I don't know, for the 3rd year or something like that. Because I want John Howe and all of them to oversee to oversee the people who create the mask and all that stuff in the world building. You can have them just consult a bit. Since they drew because they drew the world building, you can have them what? Give them some good ideas. Give the crew some, you can do something like that if you want, right? Yeah. Because they're gonna be responsible for drawing on my world building. The lands, the cultures of the Southerners and Northerns, what they wear, what the wolves wear too. The wolves wear clothes too, obviously, right? What Aratat wears, well, what Aratat wear. Aratat's the king of the South. He's a devil wolf king. That's why you're looking at something amazing for the console arts. And the doc team's filming this. We're having a blast, man. Obviously. Right? We're having a blast, obviously. Having a blast. And you're going to see how hard Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson are going to be fighting for the role, man. And you're going to see this in the documentary. You're going to see how hard Peter Jackson will be fighting for the role. Mel Gibson's fighting because they all want to direct a movie so bad. Because once you read my book, they're never going to be the same. You're looking at the best story told in motion picture. And plus, I gave them an unlimited budget, man. Whereas Peter Jackson only worked on Lord of the Rings with a limited budget. Only $90 million. Lord of the Rings was made for, man. And yet my movie, I'm putting $560 million towards the movie, $980 million towards the movie, and $560 towards going all towards the movie. That doesn't even include salaries. Whereas the $90 million that went towards Lord of the Rings, that includes salaries. Whereas $560 going towards the 3 movies, that does not include salaries. That's why it looks like top notch. 300, like almost $400 million towards special effects, man. My 3 movies, that's gonna be top notch, yeah, man. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, yeah. And Peter Jackson, or I guess whoever's hired, they will be what? The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to have me, VJ, Peter Jackson, the assistant director, and a few other crewmen will be flown to Switzerland, obviously, and we're going to have to scout land, obviously. So let's say if I hire Peter Jackson, the first thing we have to do, once we hire Peter Jackson, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a board meeting. This is, you guys write a book. This is my story. You plan out the story, and then we begin writing the script. Then every afternoon, after we eat our lunch, we go in the other building. It's nice, the nice kick-ass building, obviously. And we go to the console art room, and John Howard and Alan Lee will be working in the room, and they'll be drawing the pictures, obviously, the world building. I'll put money into the top-notch advanced console art equipment, and John Howard and Alan Lee and the guy who drew for Pennywise the Clown will be drawing the characters and doing the world building. And they're gonna put the pictures up the board, and they're gonna ask me and Peter Jackson, my wife, the assistant director, and 2 studios, okay, which pictures do you guys like and all that stuff? And we tell them which pictures we like. And once I tell them I want Aratat 3 times scarier than Pennywise the Clown, and I want Ephesus to a hybrid of that boss work, and that will be an Annabelle 3 times scarier than those beings. They draw and me, Peter Jackson, you know what I'm saying? And what? And VJ, you know what I'm saying? Or Mel Gibson, right? Whoever's hired, and 2 studios. We're like, holy shit, man! Aratat's a devil. It's gonna be so scary that we're all gonna have goosebumps. It's gonna what? We're gonna be taken back. Holy shit, that's disturbing. Yeah, man. Looking at it, and once we chose the right picture for Aratat and Feast and all of them, and the bats and wolves. Now what? Now what? Now the people, the crewmen in Switzerland are gonna have to create the masks, obviously. Design the custom made mask, and the actors are gonna wear that demonic mask. And I'm please keep in mind, I'm gonna lease the best machinery in the world for creating masks. I'm gonna lease a couple of those to create the mask for the wolves and the Ephesus and Aratat and all them. For Fool, his son, Bull Mask Bass, yeah, man, the literal devils. And then once you apply that technology towards those beings, the update IMAX cameras and the music and the 4K roof, you're looking at literal demons on the screen. You're looking at the revolution of horror, man. That's why Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson are hired. They're gonna have a blast. Because I had such a blast. Even though working on the script is a lot of work. Fuck, man, it's fun working on your script. Me and Peter Jackson and 2 script was gonna have a blast working on the script. I was looking at it amazing. The doc team's filming us, so it's like we're in a movie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. John Howard and Alan Lee will have a blast drawing the characters. Because the doc team will be filming them, interviewing them. They got their nice salary. I'm spoiling them too. And John Howard and Alan Lee and all them will get to part up my condo too. Because they're kind of my main people, right? for the movie, obviously. So the moment I signed Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson, they parted up my condo. I used to take out with them, they parted up my condo. When I signed John Howland on lead in the concert artists, I parted up my condo. The head chefs, photographers, web designers, and what? And graphic designers, they also got to part at my condo too. And Peter Jackson, Mel Gibson too. They got to part of my condo, my yacht too. And Peter Jackson, whoever's chosen, or Mel Gibson, they'll be a part of the 4 ad shoots the first year with 17. But they're gonna have to buy their own clothes. I'm not buying them. I'm not sponsoring them for their clothes because I paid you a $10 million sign-ons and you're fucking loaded. Those guys are already low. Peter Jackson's worth like $1 billion plus dollars, and Mel Gibson's worth like $400 million. You guys already have money in your bank. Plus, I paid you your $10 million sign-ons so you can buy your own suit. You can go to Vancouver, a nice store in Vancouver. You can either bring a nice suit from your house if you want, or if you want to buy a nice $10,000 suit, $5,000 suit in Vancouver, you can go to the store in Vancouver and buy a nice suit for yourself for the first shoot. And they're going to be a part of the business actions with me and wife and the 17. And they're going to be featured on the website, the billboards, like something notch. That's like Peter Jackson. We're going to have a blast. All right, man. I just want to work for you, man. I had a blast. I love being featured on your website. You know, I love directing movies. Just call me someone's better in Hollywood, man. Sky's better in Hollywood. Yeah, man. That's how Thomas Sky's coming to be. Yeah. Right. So for the first year, Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson, they'll be working on a script with me, obviously. So this is how it will work for the hours. So the first year, every morning, I don't know, I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I wake up at 6 o'clock. I go to the gym. I take a nice swim. I take a shower. I take a nice swim in my nice pool. Obviously, there's a good chance Peter Jackson will do that too. When they wake up in the morning, they go to the gym and they swim in the hotel pool or something like that. They take a nice swim in the hotel pool because I'm gonna have them stay in a nice hotel with a pool, like a nice top quality hotel, not a luxury hotel, but not a luxury room, but a nice room with a pool and all. So like a $2,000 a night hotel. That way, when they wake up, they can also go to the gym in the hotel. They can go to the pool in the hotel if they want to. You know what I'm saying? Give them a good experience, obviously. Don't have them stay at a motel or a shitty hotel, no. Have them stay at a nice, top quality hotel with a pool, a nice, like, $2,000 a night hotel, a nice hotel. That way they're what? That way they can also go to the gym. John Howland, Alan Lee, the photographers, they can go to the gym in the morning, you know what I'm saying? They can go swimming, they can go to the jacuzzi, all that stuff. Obviously, right? And you pay for the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So how does it work for me? I wake up in the morning at around 6. So me and Vijay will wake up in the morning every day around 6 to 6:30. 6:30 to 6 o'clock every morning. We'll wake up, and then the first thing I'm gonna do is probably go to the gym. So wake up in the morning, blast music in my gym, obviously, and me and Vijay work out, you know what I'm saying? We work out in the gym, and then we take a shower, then we go for a nice swim for a good like 30 minutes. And then we head on to breakfast. We either eat our breakfast at home or we'll go out to breakfast. There's a good chance I'll be going out with Peter Jackson and all them for breakfast a few times in the morning, obviously, during the first year. But me and Vijay will most likely go to Coors every morning. We get our breakfast, we eat there for a good hour, and after that we head on to what? We head on to what? We drive to work, obviously, in our nice Ferrari, our nice ass cars, obviously. We usually live in the life. Our nice ass cars. We drive to work. Obviously, I'm probably gonna get. There's a good chance I'm gonna get a coffee for myself. I'm gonna get a good like 2. I love drinking. I drink a lot. I'm gonna get a good like 2. I might just serve. I can have services for coffee in my office if I want to. You can do that. There's a good chance I might have them. I might have coffee in my office. So a nice coffee machine. That way, Peter Jackson, if they want to have coffee, they can drink it. But Peter Jackson, a good chance they will buy their own coffee every morning. John Howland, all of them, there's a good chance they'll buy their own coffee every morning, obviously. Because I pay them a lot of money, obviously. Also, there's a good chance I'll probably have a coffee machine in my office. Or not. We don't need to have that, but like if the 17 want to have a coffee, they can have a coffee machine in their office, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And so once me and Vijay drive to work, obviously, in our nice ass cars, in our nice like Ferrari. You're gonna see this in the doc. Me and Vijay, I don't know. I drive my Ferrari. The cameraman's in the car, and you see me and Vijay driving on a nice ass fucking Ferrari to work. Like holy shit, I and Vijay are loaded. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You see the limo driver pick Peter Jackson every morning, and John Howell and all of them, and they drive them to our office. Yeah, because the limo driver will also be taking Peter Jackson and all of them to our office every morning too. So every morning around, I don't know, around work starts at 9. Work starts at 9 o'clock. So every morning around 8:30, the limo driver will pick up John Howell, Alan Lee, and Peter Jackson and all of them, and the assistant director. Because the assistant director will be staying with Peter Jackson too in the hotel. They'll be taking them to my office, obviously. A nice land, probably. That's why Peter Jackson, because they're gonna beg their ass, because Hollywood doesn't do this, man. Yeah, Hollywood takes actors on limo sometimes, but they don't take them on limo every day. They can't afford that, man. I'm taking Peter Jackson and all them every day for 1 year, man, as well as the second year too. As Peter Jackson will be staying in Vancouver for a good month, the second year, to meet all the actors. And once he meets all the actors, he gets all the takeouts with them, and they sign a contract, you can send him home. And he can spend time with his family. All I ask is that he goes over his directing notes. He goes over his directing notes, obviously. Right? So how it's going to work for me and VJ, so we drive to work. Around 8:30, after we have breakfast, we go to the office. We drive to work in our nice-ass cars, I'm saying. We put on a nice suit. The doctor's filming us. I'm saying we're living the life. We're fucking famous celebrities, obviously. Me and V's are gonna have a blast because every day the doc team's filming us every day. So you feel what? You feel so on top of the world. And since time we're trending, the whole world's watching. The doc team is filming us every single day, man. In our house, our condo, everything. Yeah, man. That's why Scars is a top-notch company, obviously. You'll see what I mean when you see the documentary. Indie-style cameras, man. So once we arrive to the office, obviously the 17 will be there, obviously, and Peter Jackson, all them. The 17 will begin making business calls. The secretaries are going to have to handle all the agents, obviously. The agents are going to be calling my office like crazy, especially the actor children Rosanius. The agents are going to be calling my office like crazy, obviously. And my secretaries are going to tell them, hey, congrats, you've been signed, you've been casted for the movie. Obviously. So VJ will be in the room with will be in the office with me, obviously. She'll be chilling pretty much. Well, VJ will be making the first thing VJ doesn't have to make the calls for is the cameras right away. Okay. The first thing we have to do is sign that contract with Amazon. Okay, VJ, give Amazon a call. So while I work on the script, VJ can make the call to Amazon. Okay, okay. This is Victoria Justice. Yeah, I'm the CEO of Skysers. Me and my husband, we started a Skysers film entertainment company, and we would like to what? We would like to partner with you and do business with you. Are you interested? No, I'm saying you're gonna see VJ. He's boss on. I'm saying, yeah, we're interested. I'm saying, okay, we would like to set up a meeting with you. We'll meet you on this day. I'm saying, you see VJ talking. I'm saying, yeah, man, VJ's gonna be boss. I'm saying. And while she's making a few business calls, again, VJ is only going to make calls. Me and VJ are only going to make calls for a few things, and that's it. And Peter Jackson and all of them will be helping me, obviously, with that. And I want Peter Jackson helping out the 17 consulting with them. Just consult. You don't have to make any business calls. Just consult and help them out. They can come to them and ask them questions and all that stuff, obviously. Because he'll be my executive producer. So Peter Jackson and my two script barbers and all of them, they'll be working with me on the Last Hope for Zanis script. So I'll have my Last Hope for Zanis book right beside me, and then we're gonna begin planning out the beginning of the movie. So we work from 9 to 12 o'clock around there. We work on the script, and within those times we can give Peter Jackson two 15-minute breaks. So within those 3 hours, Peter Jackson and the 17 they get like 2 50-minute breaks, if you want. One 50-minute break or 2 50-minute breaks. Yeah, give them 2 50-minute breaks, obviously. We work on the script for like 3 hours a day, which is slack. So every day we work on the script for 3 hours. You can get a lot accomplished in 3 hours. And after 3 hours, and after we eat our lunch in the afternoon, the 7 team will be in the boardroom making their business calls and taking calls from agents, obviously. Whereas me, Peter Jackson, the assistant director, my wife, and the two script developers, we're gonna walk to the other building, a nice-ass building, and we're going to go to the concert room. We're going to do the concert arts with Alan Lee and all of them. Alan Lee, John Howell, and the person who drew for Pennywise the Clown, creating the most horrific beings in movie history, literal devils and demons on the screen, a revolutionization of technology, and they're going to do the world building for the North and the South, as well as the custom and cultures for the Northerns and Southerners that I wrote in my book, obviously. That's what it looks like. The doc will be filming this. I'm gonna have the cameraman block the face of Aratat and the demon characters. Whenever they show the pictures, I'm like, hey, look, man. Whenever they show the pictures, block it. Block it in the documentary. That way, it builds excitement for the fans. Obviously, you're gonna meet Peter Jackson. All of them are gonna be shocked. Holy shit, that's scary. Eretat's a devil, yeah, man. Even Peter Jackson, if he's hard or rebellious, they're gonna be like, Ivan, are you sure, man? That's too scary, man. This is way too scary. I'm like, no, I want it to be that scary. The way you dress for the story, that way, Eretat's a devil himself, and that's why Zayn's will be the best story ever told. Yeah, man. Right? Yeah. Obviously. You see what I'm saying here? And Peter Jackson will get because they're big directors. I can give them a good. I don't know. I can give them for the re-release. I can give them. I don't know. I can give them like I don't know $5 million for the re-release because they're so big. The actors I'll give $250K, but Peter Jackson them because they executive produce your movie and they're really big. You can give them like $5 million for the re-release. Now $5 million is too much. I'll give them a good. I don't know. I'll give them a good like $2 million for the re-release. $2 million for all the re-releases for the future, which is a good deal for them because they're so big. Whereas all the actors in Hollywood they get $250K for the re-releases. That's good enough. I'm not giving you any more money than that, obviously. Whereas the big A's actors, I'll give them all like $1.5 million for the poster sales, which is nice. Whereas all the other ranking actors get $250K for the re-release, which is still fucking nice, obviously. So guys like Keanu Reeves, Scarlett Johansson, you know what I'm saying? Scarlett Johansson, Ben Affleck, I'll pay them their nice rich salary, obviously. So Ben Affleck, I'm going to pay him $36 million for the role. I'm not going any higher than him. That's good enough, and I'll give him $1.5 million for the poster sales, and he gets $250K for all the re-releases, which is a nice deal. A reoccurring $250,000 royalty check. Scarlett Johansson gets 38. I can give her $1.5 million for the re-release, and Keanu Reeves, I'll give him $1.5 million for the I'll give him $1.5 million for the poster sales. Sorry, Scarlett Johansson, I'm willing to give her $1.5 million for the poster sales. Keanu Reeves, I can give her $1.5 million for the poster sales, which is nice. Because they're big A's actors, you can give them some money. Still pockets. Me and BJ are still making our 60%, obviously. And you pay Keanu Reeves his nice $40 million for the movie, obviously. And they'll all agree that deal is that's good enough. I'm not going any harder. If you're greedy and you want a piece of my royalties, you're not getting a piece of the movie sales. No way, zero. I'm giving you $1.5 million for the poster sales. That's good enough. I'm giving you $2,000 for the re-releases. I'm paying you a rich salary. That's the only back end deal you're getting. You're not getting a piece of the roses. You're not worth it, man. You gotta let these actors know that. Whereas Peter Jackson, because they're really big, I can give them like $2 million for the re-release, which is a nice deal, obviously. They don't get a dime for the posters because they weren't featured on the posters. As they don't get a dime for the posters, and they don't get a dime for the movie sales, as they're not worth it, obviously. They're not worth it. So every time I re-release Zayn's new technology, Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson, they get $2 million in their bank. Which is a nice deal, obviously. And if you don't like the deal, then go to Hollywood and be a dirty slave if you don't like my offer. I'm being very generous. If you don't like my deal, no one on this planet is worth me and VJ's royalties. Hence, they're not getting a piece of the royalties. Because me and VJ signed that big-ass contract with Amazon, obviously, me and VJ are going to sign that big-ass contract with Amazon. All these actors want a piece of that pie. All the directors want a piece of that pie. As I told you, me and VJ are going to make a good, I don't know, like $3 billion, $4 billion worth of movies and posters. Even more, perhaps. Most likely 3 or 4 billion we're going to make out the movies and posters. Amazon will make like, I don't know, 2.5 billion, 2.8 billion. Obviously. I don't know, me and VJ might make 2.3 billion off the movie, and we make another $1 billion off the posters. Amazon might make, I don't know, 1.7 million off the movies and a good like, I don't know, 400 million off the posters. So both parties are making a lot of money. Hence why, and me and VJ are the one investing our money into the movie. Hence why no one's worth our royalties. You're not paying. If Peter Jackson gets angry, you know what I'm saying? If he wants a piece of our royalties and he gets angry, look, man, if $60 million is not good enough for you, and getting spoiled, and getting $2 million for the re-release is not good enough for you, you're more than welcome to go back to Hollywood and being a dirty slave if you don't like my offer. $60 million is good enough. You're walking away with 30 plus million in your bank. And so I'm paying you a fucking rich salary, obviously. Right? If $50 million isn't good enough for Mel Gibson, You're more than welcome to go back to Hollywood and be a dirty slave to all my offer. I'm going to be strict on that, obviously. And they will all accept my deal because I'm paying them all my, yeah, I accept your deal. Even though you agree you're paying me a shitload of money, yeah. And I'm paying you $3 million too, which you're never going to make in fucking Hollywood, man. You're never going to make $3 million in Hollywood. Yeah, man. Right? The interesting part of the most exciting part for me the first year will be doing the console arts because I'm gonna finally see what these demonic characters will look like, how the world of Zanes will look like. Peter Jackson and all of them are gonna know what Aratat will look like once you get the final product for the console arts and okay, we like this picture. This is what we want Aratat to look like, and the Aratat's a devil. Like holy shit, this is fucking scary. Peter Jackson will be like, holy shit, Ivan, I think you just shook the world. This is gonna be a fucking. This movie's gonna have crazy buzz, yeah, man. Peter Jackson gets to be a part of that buzz, yeah, man. Obviously. Now going back to the crewman, I want the crewman who worked on Lord of the Rings to work for my last of Us movie. Obviously. So instead of the 17 looking at resumes, 17 don't have time to look at resumes. The only resumes they'll look at is like the chefs. That's it. Look at the resumes for the chefs and the cinematographers. The cinematographers, I can just have the ones who work on Lord of the Rings. There's no need to hire different ones who worked on different movies. No. For the cinematographers, you can hire three. One who worked on Lord of the Rings. One who worked on, I don't know. One who worked on Passion of Christ. One who worked on, I don't know, Avatar or Matrix. Hire one. And the main five, you can hire the ones who work on Passion of Christ, Lord of the Rings, Avatar. Hire like 5 main people. And you pay all the main cinematographers $2 million. Whereas the assistants, you pay like $170,000. The assistants, you just hire the ones who work on Lord of the Rings. Pay them all a nice $170,000, obviously, for the 9 months, because they're going to be hard at work filming, obviously. And the main cinematographer, you pay them $2 million, and that way you get good quality for good shots for your movie, man. Good cinematography for your movie, man. Obviously. Hence why I look at the best movie ever made, man. Pimping out all my IMAX cameras too, updating my IMAX fully. Okay, update the camera with advanced focus, advanced sound, advanced speakers. Yeah, man, this is something top notch. You also have the 4K Blu-ray effect. Right, movie, yeah, man. You have the amazing technology of CGI and set building. Yeah, man, this is top notch, obviously. So the crewmen who worked in Hollywood, for Xanax, I want the ones who worked on Lord of the Rings, the originals. So I'll be hiring Weta Workshop to create the weapons and armor, obviously, and I'm going to hire all the crewmen who worked on Lord of the Rings to work for my last of Us movie. Not all of them, though. I'm going to say, look, I need 1,500 people who worked in Lord of the Rings to work on my movie, as I can't afford 2,300 crewmen. I can't afford to pay them $150K. So I'll hire a good 1,500 people. That's enough. All the construction crewmen, the makeup artists, the costume designers, the special effects team, you know what I'm saying? Hire all those guys who worked on Lord of the Rings. The assistants. For the special effects team, all the assistants, just hire all the guys who worked on Lord of the Rings. Whereas the main people, you can have specific people who worked on specific movies. The main, like 5 or something like that. You pay them nice $2 million. And the assistant special effects people, you pay them like $170,000 for post-production. That way they work hard for you. Obviously. I want this, so yeah, I'll be flying all those crewmen in. So my 17 will put out the ad for I want crewmen who worked on Lord of the Rings, obviously, to work for my movie. Obviously, and I'm saying I don't know if crewmen have agents. I don't think they do, but it's like a union or something like that, right? And then second year they'll be flown to my office, and they're gonna sign all their nice big ass contracts. And it's just not just the actors who are signing big contracts. The crewmen are also signing fat contracts too. As $150,000 is a fucking rich salary for a crewman, man. It's a fucking. I pay you $50K for the third year, and I pay you $100K for a fat $100K for the fourth year, which is a nice fucking paycheck. And you also get your parties, your once a month parties the third year. You get spoiled with a buffet. The crewmen don't get spoiled as much as the actors, because the actors are my stars. But the crewmen get the once a month party the third year. They get the nice luxurious buffet for the 2 years, the third year and the fourth year. And they also get their 3 beers once a week. I've been wanting the crewmen can have 3 beers once a week. Have them have 3 beers once a week. Not every day. Drinking beer every day is bad for you. I have them have 3 beers once a week. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? They're having a blast, obviously. They all get flown private to Switzerland. Yeah. Obviously, right? Right, so that's it for the crewmen. So the crewmen, I want the ones who worked on Lord of the Rings to work for Last of Us. See his crewmen are out. I'm not hiring CS crewmen. I'm only hiring the crewmen who worked on what? On Lord of the Rings. CS people are out, obviously. So the only ads I'll put up for is for the head chef, the chefs, pretty much. As I want sous chefs. I don't want line cooks. I don't want line cooks or people who work in salmon shops to work for my company. No, I want sous chefs to work for my company, obviously. Pay them a nice $150,000. Everyone in the crewman gets their nice $150,000 salary. With the exception of supervisors. Supervisors get like 200, 250K, 270K. You know what I'm saying? You pay the supervisors a bit more, obviously. Whereas the everyone else gets their flat $150,000, which is nice, obviously. Hence, the crewmen for Lord of the Rings are going to even work double harder for me than what they did in Lord of the Rings. Because for Lord of the Rings, they got shitty money. They got like 30K, 25K, 40K. Whereas for my movie, I'm paying them $150K, and I also give them a $2,000 gift card, and I'm spoiling the shit out of them with luxury buffet. Once on parties, they parted up my yacht and all stuff for the takeouts second year. Yeah, man, they're getting spoiled. So kind of here.